Hi, Peter Charles here. And on a couple of my videos, I've had comments asking me about the Voigtländer 27mm f2 Ultron lens on the Fujifilm X-M5 and what's it like as a street camera. So I thought, you know what, that's a good challenge, let's check it out. Okay, I bolted it on, took it out, and the pickings are rather slim, so I used it more as a walking around camera. I did do some street photography. None of it's worth putting up. It was pretty unspectacular, but it did give me a chance to find out what the camera was like. Now, I started off originally in manual exposure, manual focus, obviously, because of the Voigtländer lens, and I would set it either F11 or F8, and I would zone focus, and I worked like that. And it worked out fine. All my pictures came out nice and sharp, no problems there. However, I found it was a little bit awkward to work with on manual exposure because I am using the front dial to change my shutter speed. And, and I was leaving my aperture more or less alone, though moving it sometimes. What I found I preferred actually was easier for me to use is I put it on aperture priority and control the aperture obviously with the lens, but then if I wanted to adjust my exposure up and down, I used the exposure compensation, and I found that worked out a lot better than just being on manual exposure. So that's the way I operated for the rest of my walks around town. Now, as far as its handling when you're taking street shots, I found that if I've got the strap around me and I'm letting it dangle, or I'm holding it low like this, and I'm just sort of aiming the camera with my body, fine. No problem at all. It's a nice, small, unassuming package. People don't pay attention to it. It's a good, discreet way to take pictures. The thing is, not having a shutter speed dial, though I did miss, because I often look down and check my settings. And, not having one, I felt like, that I did miss. But bottom line, it handled fine. Where I ran into difficulties is when I wanted to actually frame a shot. Then the lack of a viewfinder started to get on my nerves. I would set my screen brightness to maximum so I could see it, but I found compositionally I was doing okay, nothing spectacular, but I didn't have any real misses with that, but I would prefer a viewfinder. That's not true of all people. Some people will be fine with no viewfinder. The other thing, and the other mistake I made, is this lens comes with this little lens cap, lens hood arrangement. I didn't use it, and when I pointed this camera towards the sun, I got a lot of flare. So yeah, it's a fiddle to use, but use it. Keep the flare off the lens, and it works fine. As I've talked about in other videos, the 27mm is a little gem of a lens, lovely and smooth, and I got used to the distance scale on here not having a lot of wiggle room between infinity and 3 meters, but I've gotten used to where to place the dot between, say 1.5 meters and 3 meters, or between 3 meters and infinity, to get what I'm looking for. Now keep in mind, the depth of field scale on the lens is film depth of field, not pixel depth of field. I would suggest you leave the camera on pixel depth of field and have that displayed on the screen. So if you want precise zone focusing, use pixel. If you're just putting your photos up on social media, you can use the film format, it's fine. It's just, film format is meant for 8x10 prints. So if you're enlarging one of these photos and do pixel peeping on it, yeah, you will find that film format is not that great. You want to be using pixel format. But that's about the only caveat there when it comes to depth of field. General handling, I would like a little bit more of a grip, but other than that, I'm fine there. Actually, having the film simulation dial on street photography is actually kind of cool. As I'm going from one scene to another, I can adjust this and get different looks. So that was kind of a nice touch. I didn't mind at all. So bottom line, I would think that if you're good with screens, then this is a great combination. It's small, it's light, it's unassuming, doesn't attract attention. If you're not good with screens, I would look at, for a street camera, I'd look at either the XE3 or the XE4 and put this lens on that camera. I think you're going to get better results in terms of how the camera handles, and that when you want to frame a shot, I found myself kept bringing the camera to my eye and then, oh, yeah, I don't have a viewfinder. So that's the thing. It's really a toss-up between the XE series and the XM5, depending whether you want a viewfinder or no viewfinder. Did I miss the fact there's no IBIS in this? No. I mean, I'm used to working without any kind of image stabilization when it comes to street photography. I usually keep my shutter speeds around 1/500th, or 1/250th is usually about the lowest I go. I'll crank the ISO before I bring my shutter speeds down too low. So I don't worry about shutter speed, camera shake I should say, because my shutter speeds are high enough. I want to freeze the motion of the people, and I don't want a lot of motion blur, so I need my shutter speeds reasonably high. So that's it. I would say, bottom line, it does work. It's a lovely little combination, but the only thing is, if you need a viewfinder, look at the XE series. If you're good with working off of the screen, this is a lovely combination. The only thing else I should add, before I forget, if you want to go with autofocus, you look at the 27mm Fuji lens, same field of view, obviously, same perspective, and you get autofocus. Yeah, it's slow and noisy, but at least it works. It's autofocus. Anyway, give it a try. Cheers.